welcome back. Today we have another box from Yeslak. You may have seen some of the other videos that I've done with some of their items. I've already opened it up so I can easily pull out the first item that's went in here, and sure enough, it is some more carbon fiber. So I wanted to show you these pieces. There will be 4 of them that we will install up here on the truck. But first off, just to show you, this is a matte carbon fiber finish. These parts do come in either matte or gloss. And of course, it does have the infamous, red, plastic coated adhesive strip where you got to get these things peeled off, and I'll get that done, peel it back, and then it shows the adhesive on the back side of it. And once you expose that adhesive, then you want to press the part down. But let me show you where this part goes specifically. We'll come over here to the truck and I'll show you that sure enough, oh, there I am in the reflection wearing the new Meta glasses for trying to film, so I have both hands available to me on any of these that I do. And you'll see that where it's going to go are over these rubber strips, kind of trim strips that are on the top of the door. Now, it's not actually the rubber or anything that touches the glass. That's further inside. But if anybody who's ever had cars with this kind of rubberized strip, ceiling strip, you know that the sun bakes this stuff. It gets kind of gray over time. You're always treating it with things that then sometimes are kind of slimy, etc. I figured, well, why not just take care of it with something like a carbon fiber overlay? So this piece, you'll notice, is angle cut to fit on that end, but also is kind of rounded on this end. And then here's something that's kind of interesting. Notice how the piece curves up and is higher here. It's thicker, and then it tapers down a little bit. That's true because that is exactly how that piece is underneath. So just, even though I don't have the adhesive exposed, just to show you what that's like, you would simply lay that piece down and it fits right up evenly. So I'm gonna get the other pieces out, peel the adhesive, and stick these down. But I wanted to show you these carbon fiber trim cover pieces from Yeslak. Again, I think they make some great carbon fiber stuff. We've used them on several other parts of the Halo Cybertruck. So I'm gonna get the other parts out and come back. So the next thing I wanted to show you, I have this piece, still haven't stuck it down on the door yet, but it's a good reminder to kind of check all the pieces first. Notice these next 2 pieces are longer. So if I line them up here toward, like where I would have the other piece lined up at the front of the door, the front of the rear door, and then came back here, I was like, oh, well, they're way too long. They're, another ½ inch or so. That's because these pieces go on, one of these pieces go on the front door, and I just have to figure out which one it is in terms of the angle. But what I noticed was when I slide this here, I can either have the angle, see, it doesn't go quite all the way to the end of that rubber trim, but notice that right here is where my plate, my cover plate, sits down on top of that rubber trim. So normally my mirror would be here, and my mirrors are in a box in storage. I don't really want to get them back out to see necessarily the angle. So what I have to do is look at between these 2 pieces. These are obviously ones for the front door. Which one of these is a better fit in terms of how that happens with the angle? And I think actually I'm going to probably do it like the other door and back. That seems to be a better fit because, again, this is thicker towards this end and then tapers down some, comes thinner, and then angles like that. So I'm pretty sure that's the angle it's supposed to be at, and then I'll drop that cover plate over the top of it. That makes the most sense in terms of lining up with the window and the angle, and I can see the front of it lines up with where that cover plate. So let me go get that cover plate a second, and I had taken it off because I thought I might need to do so in case the strip came all the way underneath the plate, but it appears that in fact it does not. So I didn't really have to put the cover plate back on yet because I just came over to the driver's side front door. So here I've got it fitting up down here. Again, haven't stuck it down with the adhesive yet, but notice how that comes right in here and then angles in with that kind of that same angle for the cover plate. So this is the correct piece for this side in the front. That other piece will be the correct piece. I just need to get that other cover plate back installed because, again, I thought maybe it was going to go underneath it, but in fact it does not. And of course, this will be our rear piece here that angles up and ends, with the door. So let's open the door a second because, see, that's going to cover. And see, the last thing you want is something like that sticking out from the door, and it doesn't. You've got the rubber fit, and then this is just ever so slightly in from that. so it looks good along there as well too. So what I'm going to do is I actually am going to peel off some of these strips, and I'll go do that on another one on the other side, and then start sticking these down onto the door itself. Okay, since I rarely ever show taking this stuff off, I did use my finger to start this particular piece. I'll go ahead and show that. So once you get it started, it's usually pretty easy to peel these things off. If you need to kind of press down a little bit to make sure that the adhesive is sticking to the carbon fiber piece, you can do that. But then just peel that away and that's ready to go. That's very sticky, very tacky. Now what I would want to do here is to start down at this end, because see how this is kind of cupped in here? You want that end to fit over and flush with that. So what I'll do is I'll first cup that end there. Okay, that is down, and then I'm going to let that line up like so, and then I'm just going to simply press that down as we go all the way along the edge. Okay, come back, press that, make sure that that's down and tight. It is. Okay, we can open the rear door here. Sure enough, maybe drop the window. Yep. All right, so for the parts where the windows dropped, in case anybody was wanting to look along here, so see that does not interfere with this rubber strip up against the glass. This is just simply covering this top exposed surface of the rubber. And again, they did do a very nice job of making that match the actual curvature of that individual piece. Well, my carbon fiber pieces on the inside are a little dusty. Now I've got carbon fiber and carbon fiber. So I am going to go ahead and do the rest of the doors, and then I'll come back and just shoot a little final thoughts video. Okay, so one of the other things I forgot to show on the other side before attaching one of these strips is that Yeslak does include these adhesion promoters. So you definitely want to be wiping down this rubber strip with this. And, you know, I think this is probably just isopropyl alcohol. It kind of smells like it. But anyway, you want to make sure that you get, so say, look at that. You know, that's dirt, grime, maybe some oils if you had treated yours with, you know, some sort of like 303 protectant or something like that. You know, you want to make sure that you get all that stuff cleaned off if you want the adhesive to stick well to this rubber piece. So a little bit more grime off of there, and we will let that air dry while I pull the backing, the red backing off of this, and then we'll get this piece laid down next. And then again, then I'll be back for some final thoughts. I realize I hadn't talked a bit about the adhesion promoter, and I think that's an important step that you do that if you really want those things to lay down and stay down long term. I mean, obviously this is on the outside of the truck. It's going to be exposed to the element, heat, sun, depending on where you live, maybe some snow or really cold temperatures, and obviously that stuff is going to, you know, expand and shrink over time. So you want to make sure that you've got good adhesion. And as you can see, I'm struggling a little bit with getting the backing off of this piece next, so I'm probably just going to pause the video and go get me a little knife edge. That sometimes that helps in getting these things up when fingernails just don't do the trick. All right, I'm going to do just some final thoughts here. I mean, both of these pieces, well, in fact, all four pieces went down really well. They line up nice and straight. They fit on the edges really well. Fit down over the factory rubber piece as well. I can open and close the doors and windows, no issues at all. Again, add some nice accent carbon fiber trim on the outside to go along with what I had on the inside. So I just want to thank Yeslak for sending us these pieces to try out. I am probably going to go take the truck out, do a couple high-speed runs just for the fun of it, but I don't see any way that this stuff is going to come off. I mean, you know, trying to get my finger underneath and peel stuff back, I mean, this stuff is down good. It's not budging at all. So again, we'd like to thank Yeslak for sending these pieces. We're going to have another video with yet a couple more things that they sent us. I hope you've tuned in to some of our prior articles. If you haven't, please go back in the article section and take a look at some of the prior items that they've sent us. Some great stuff there. I will include in the article a link to their website, as well as any discount codes that are available at the time. Be sure and use those. But by all means, these pieces so far that they've sent, and various different things I've tried, have all been very good. Have been very pleased with them, both now inside and outside, and would highly recommend that you take a look at, if you're interested in carbon fiber, in getting some of these pieces from Yeslak. So again, I'm Tesla Ken for the HaloCybertruck.com website. Please subscribe to our blog, or our articles as we call them, but it is a blog. Please subscribe to that. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you do, you will get updates whenever I'm doing a new video like this, posting a new article, etc. You will be the first to know because you'll get an email about it. Then you can come check out the latest and greatest stuff. And we do have some other articles coming up soon, not only some more carbon fiber pieces, but that whole steering wheel replacement article that we've been teasing for a bit now is dropping soon. So again, please subscribe. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, I'm Tesla Ken.